Our quest for a MacGuffin takes us to the Red Planet, inspiration for many forms of media, and the rat-bat spider from the Angry Red Planet. Sadly, no such oversized vermin is to be found here, but instead we find humans, which arguably are vermin too. We entered the settlement of Cydonia. No Knights of Cydonia to be found, but something about the place did make me feel uncertain for our safety. A depressing, run-down and hopeless tone swept the mining colony, almost certain I could smell the depression. It's enough to drive one to drink. So we headed to the bar to protect ourselves from second-hand sadness as well as inquire about Mo'ara. As is RPG tradition, we asked the bartender for the information. Jack the bar steward bastard says he knows where Mo'ara might be if we pay off the 2k tab that Mo owes. One feature Starfield has, which I actually quite like, is that you can choose your companion to speak for you if the option to is available. I make use of Sarah, who calls out Jack's bullshit and makes him lower the price to 1,000. Now it's time to lay on some fire-face charm. With my dapper new suit and fantastic looks, I'm able to convince Jack to tell us for free that Mo said he was going to the Lady of Love, also known as Venus. It's not much, but it's something. Before we leave, I buy a beer teeny to make Jack feel better about his struggling business. Arriving in the orbit of Venus, Sarah stops the ship to teach me space stealth. Members of a religious cult named the Varun Zealots are nearby, and Sarah doesn't want us to engage. Fireface is not one to displease a lady, so space stealth it is. But stealth in space feels more like a situational endeavour rather than a viable option. Assuming you arrive and the ships haven't noticed you already, which in my experience is a rarity, you need to keep your distance and reduce how much power you use to stop you blipping on their radars, limiting all of your power to nothing but 2 at maximum bars in your engines. I'm hoping that I can upgrade my ship at some point to have scramblers or at least an invisibility function, but for now, stealth engage. Our goal is to try and get within 500 meters of a satellite to try and find a sign of Mo. All I have to keep me company during this little task is the insane ramblings of a snake cult, which I am disappointed at because Bethesda have missed a chance to throw in a Conan reference here. Slowly approaching the satellite was a tedious task, so Fireface engages in some spaceship acrobatics to impress Sarah. After the scan, an emergency broadcast from the Man of the Hour reveals that he's gone to a space station orbiting Earth's moon in hopes that he can find the parts he needs to make emergency repairs. Not a good idea, Sarah says, as anything surrounding Earth has been abandoned for years and is now full of scavengers and bandits. See, Sarah, you see this as a problem? I see this as XP. We take off towards the star yard Mo is heading to, and my bloodlust goes unsatisfied as there are no ships to fight. Instead, I learn how to dock, which plays an unskippable sequence every time. Boarding the station, we are welcomed by the Grim Greeter and scavenge the aftermath of a fight that we weren't part of but hope to join soon. In the next room we hear gunfire, and this is where I get angry at choosing the Ronin starting class. At the recording of this footage, stealth has gone from so broken it's OP to so broken it's worthless. You are so easily spotted for all the wrong reasons, and most of the time you don't even know what the reason was. Like here, I finished giving Sarah some gear, who is still in awe at Fireface's acrobatics. Then suddenly, the bar instantly fills to caution. I quickly jump to cover and then try to spot who spotted me. But there's no one there. So what happened? Did they hear Sarah talking? Am I making noise? If that's the case, the developers seem to have forgotten to make that clear as all my footsteps are silent. Once we're back to hidden, I continue to sneak looking for clues. Then I get spotted from ages away by someone who is hiding behind cover and not looking at me. At first I thought I was doing something wrong, but it turns out I'm not the only one who's spotting that stealth is terrible. People are reporting being spotted instantly despite the rank of stealth that they have, even when the enemy isn't looking at you. Others claim that killing an isolated member suddenly alerts the whole base. It only seems to work if people are using any gear in combination with other gear that has chameleon on it. Invisibility makes you harder to see. Yeah, no shit.
Now don't get me wrong. I realise that there is a good chance that sound is the thing that gives me away some of the time. But in previous games, it has also been a factor when it comes to stealth. Do you know what the workaround was for that? Different armor types. Starfield only gives you one armor type, spacesuit. If Oblivion can give you armor that's suitable for stealth, as can Fallout, why not Starfield?
Now I can't speak for PC users, but as far as I'm aware, on the Xbox, stealth is completely useless. Anyone playing this on PC, please let your thoughts be known below and tell me, is stealth just as bad there too? After deciding that it's just not worth it to try the stealthy approach, I changed my tactics to Time Crisis.
Action!
Looks like we're in the clear.
After calming down a little bit, I try and stealth again, but then immediately fall victim to more of the shoddiness. I decide to let loose and go full frontal, swapping to the old-fashioned but reliable shotgun to kill every toss rag stupid enough to get in my way. With my rage subsided and the room cleared, we find Moara's next clue as to where he is. Neptune. Oh, this quest be dragging on. But at least I got enough XP to level my scavenging in hopes to find more ammo from boxes. Old Faithful is gonna need it. Before we leave, I give Sarah some new clothes, then we make a beeline to Neptune, and thank fuck that we actually find Mo stranded in his ship, broken again. Or so we think. He is alive and he is on the ship, but his ship has been hijacked and is currently under the control of mercenaries. Meaning now that we get to do what has quickly become one of my favourite things to do in Starfield, ship raiding. Under the Merc's control, they use Mo's ship to attack us. This is where you learn that if you take out the engines of a ship and then get close enough to it, you can dock and board the ship for hostile takeovers to claim the ship as your own. As much as I would love to steal this one and smack Mo around for taking us on this goose chase, I decide against it, but don't worry, you're going to see what happens when you actually do steal a ship. After saving Mo, with next to no convincing he gives up the MacGuffin, we take it back to the lodge and add it to the mother MacGuffin. Noel and Sarah examine it and conclude that there are more pieces to be found. Sarah, pleased with what we've achieved, gives me a spacesuit and honours me as a full member of Constellation. And then immediately slaps 3 more missions on me straight away. Being the new guy sucks. But at least Sarah's offering to come along with me for these ones. Which one are we going to do? That will be answered next time on Starfield.